Welcome to Movie TV's Primetime News. To present it, my name is Jesse Jongwe. The headlines. Nakachinda accuses UPND of fighting corruption selectively. Mwetwa says the party is aware of a number of its lawmakers being trailed by PF militias. Kampyongo's Wolves remark on ambitious PF presidential hopefuls Anai Emmanuel Mwamba. PF loses more parliamentary seats. And now the news in detail. Patriotic Front, a PF member of a Central Committee in charge of information and publicity, Raphael Nakachinda, has called for fairness in the anti-corruption fight. Mr. Nakachinda says the fight against corruption leaves much to be desired as it is selective. He further accuses the current administration of plotting to remove the immunity of immediate past President Edgar Lungu.
Everywhere. And they are taking advantage of President Hakainde's ignorance by presenting to him things which are actually normal within the operation of government. They have wasted already resources, public resources, traveling to countries across the globe. They have been to Turkey, they have been to Belgium, they have been to Dubai, they have been to South Africa, they have been to Swaziland, all in search of something they can use to pin on President Lungu so they can justify the removal of immunity. The other question we want to ask Mr. Kandechilema, why is he casting a blind eye to the fertilizer scandal that has come to the fore, where a husband to one of his ministers is said to have blacklisted most of the business houses that are involved in the fertilizer business? How come this fight against corruption and the traveling of security personnel has become so lucrative that every time they go and agitate the president, no, we haven't finished the investigations, Mr. President. That is the way they are siphoning money and making money. So Home Affairs must give us answers. Ministry of Justice must give us answers.
Party for National Development UPND spokesperson Cornelius Mwetwa says his party is aware of a member of its lawmakers being trailed by Patriotic Front PF militias. Mr. Mwetwa has charged that the events prior to the death of its Kawata Member of Parliament, Levim Kandawire, were an indication of foul play. He stresses the heavy defeat the opposition PF suffered during the just-ended general elections has led to the former ruling party to start mooting plans aimed at undermining the new Dawn administration. He assures the people of Kawata constituency that the death of Mr. Mkandawire will not be in vain, as there will be engaged the security wing to investigate circumstances surrounding his death.
The untimely demise of our colleague, Honorable Mkandawire, a Member of Parliament for Kawata, with mixed feelings. We suspect foul play in the events leading to the death of our colleague. We are aware that our colleagues, the Patriotic Front, are not happy that they lost elections because they had believed they were going to win elections by differentizing places or areas that they thought where opposition strongholds in the issuance of NRCs and also voter registration. That the demise of our colleague is highly suspicious and questionable. But we want to assure the people of Zambia, particularly the people of Kawata, that the demise of Honorable Levin Kandawire will not be in vain. Under the state leadership of President Hakainde, we intend to continue to wage this war against corruption relentlessly. We know that PF have a lot of money that they dubiously obtain when they are in office. And they are capable of hiring anyone to do this members of Parliament of the UPND, we are calling on security and investigative agencies to dig deeper and get to the roots.
Meanwhile, Parliament held a valedictory service for Mr. Mkandawire in allowing members of Parliament to pay their last respect. And the Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, has described the late Kawata lawmaker as a mature politician. Ms. Muti says Mr. Mkandawire engaged in non-partisan politics during his short stay in the House.
2nd November 2021, members of parliament joined the rest of the country, paying their last respect to the late United Party for National Development, UPND Kawata lawmaker, Levi Mkandawire, at Parliament Building, who died on 18th of November 2021 after being bashed by a car at his house. Speaking during valedictory service in Lusaka, Government Chief Whip Stafford Mulusa notes with sadness that the death of the late Kawata MP is a great loss not only to the party but to the entire country, as he was a leader who was eager to serve the people of Kawata, especially the youths.
The demise of Honorable Mkandawire is a great loss not only to the party but the entire nation of Zambia. Honorable Mkandawire was an exemplary leader, very soft-spoken, jovial, a gentleman who worked and served the party with loyalty. Honorable Mkandawire was eager to serve the people of Kawata, especially the youth. His priority was to change the status quo of the unemployment in his constituency. Unfortunately, we have lost his great visionary before his dream could come to reality. As the UPND, we will ensure that we fulfill this aspiration in honor of our beloved honorable member. As we may all be aware, our colleague died in...
And Speaker of the National Assembly, Mary Muti, has encouraged the people of Kawata to continue remembering the late MP in peace and harmony throughout this difficult period.
Honorable Mkandawire's name will surely go down in the history of this country as a true statesman. Fellow mourners, as we continue remembering our departed colleague, I would like to encourage all of us to turn to God for strength and comfort. I further implore the people of Kawata constituents to continue mourning their departed member in unity and harmony throughout the period. And to all honorable members of Parliament, let me take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude for the manner in which you have mourned our departed colleague. Indeed, you have shown that we are real brothers keepers. We believe and belong to different parties, but when faced with the misfortune, you have shown that you can put our ideologies aside and move as one people.
Acting leader of the opposition, Nixon Chilangwa, described the death of the late Lusaka's Kawata Member of Parliament, Levi Mkandawire, as a shocking one.
As the PF, we learned of the tragic and sudden passing of Honorable Levi Mkandawire with great shock and sense of deep sorrow. For this reason, we are here to stand as one with members of the bereaved family and the UPND in mourning our departed colleague. Indeed, our spirits are heavy today, for we have prematurely lost a person who was dear to all of us.
Last month, late Mkandawire was rumored to have died, and his party made a post about his death, which turned out not to be true. But unfortunately, the late Kawata Member of Parliament, Levi Mkandawire, died on 18th of November 2021 after being bashed by a car at his house
and has been put to rest at Memorial Park Cemetery.
Margaret Shota, Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
Mr. Mkandawire, who died on 18th November 2021, has since been put to rest today at Leopards Hill Memorial Park. He is survived by his wife, Charity Ngosa, and 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. Former Kabushi PF Member of Parliament Bowman Lusambo has appealed to the Constitutional Court against the nullification of his parliamentary seat. In a notice of appeal filed in the Constitutional Court Registry, Mr. Lusambo, who is also former Lusaka Provincial Minister, has appealed against the whole judgment delivered by Ndola-based Judge Edward Musona last Friday, losing UPND candidate Bernard Kanengo successfully petitioned Lusambo's seat in the Ndola High Court. Mr. Lusambo has advanced 4 grounds, while other grounds will follow later. He has argued that Judge Musona erred in law and in fact when he held that the reported violence in 4 out of 8 wards amounted to widespread violence, while acknowledging that Lusambo may only have been present at 2 occasions when violence was alleged to have been perpetrated. Mr. Lusambo submitted that Judge Musona also erred in law and in fact when he shifted the burden of proof to him when he held that the failure to show that he attempted to stop the violence meant that he consented to it or acknowledged the violence. Judge Musona nullified the seat on grounds that there was widespread violence in Kabushi and that Lusambo did not disassociate himself from his militia group known as the Native Forces, which was attacking the electorate. Judge Musona said before nullifying the seat that he was satisfied that Lusambo had knowledge of violence, saying that his defense that he was not in Ndola when the violence episodes were recorded cannot stand. The Kasama High Court has nullified the Lunte parliamentary seat, which was held by former Transport and Communications Minister Mutotwe Kafwaya of the Patriotic Front. Lusaka-based High Court Judge Wilfred Muma, who read the ruling before a packed court in Kasama, said there were serious issues of bribery and corruption during the campaigns. Zanis reports that Judge Muma, who was sitting in the Kasama High Court, made the ruling in Kasama today, and Mr. Kafwaya said the court has made the judgment based on what was submitted before them. He said he will, however, sit down with other stakeholders to decide on the next course of action. And the petitioner Katongo Chasaya of the ruling United Party for National Development UPND has expressed happiness with the judgment, saying justice has been delivered. Mr. Chasaya said he has been vindicated by the judgment, stating that the people of Lunte did not choose freely, but the winner was imposed to them. He said with this judgment, the people of Lunte will have an opportunity to have a leader of their choice who will deliver development in the area. UPND Deputy Secretary General Patrick Mucheleka, who was present in court, said the party and its alliance partners have been vindicated. He said the judge has clearly indicated that there was massive corruption in the election of Mr. Kafwaya, and it is for this reason that the seat has been nullified. He said the PF candidate used the social cash transfer to threaten voters. Meanwhile, the court has upheld the election of Brian Munduwile as Mporokoso Member of Parliament. Lusaka-based High Court Judge Charles Zulu, who was in seating Kasama, made the ruling in Kasama today. And Mr. Munduwile has welcomed the ruling, saying the judgment is a sweet victory, adding that justice has been done. Mr. Munduwile said it has been a very long race which has come to a close. He has since indicated the petition had disturbed the delivery of information to the people of Mporokoso. Meanwhile, there was commotion at the court grounds as UPND cadres clashed with PF supporters who had come to offer solidarity to Mr. Munduwile. Meanwhile, PF Nakonde Area Member of Parliament Lucas Simumba has had his seat nullified by the Chinsali High Court. Mr. Simumba was petitioned by UPND Simon Simwanza, citing election irregularities. So far, the biggest opposition has had The courts wipe the party as they lose 5 seats of Kabushi's Bowman Lasambo, Kwacha's Joseph Mulanji, Mutotwe Kafwaya of Lunte, Sibongile Mwamba of Kasama Central, and Lucas Simumba of Nakonde.
Eko wa PF bashike mfutu kushaka balena kulira kanshi nde bilomba bonso okutati tie ntubike intunguru shesu mumino yakwalesa amen abena nakonde ebasalire ba Lucas Mumba nepe poliandiri akutati mwebena nakonde mwebena muchinga tie ntukonka nyokupepele ntunguru shesu ukumuno kutati icho tukwete twachisungirira amen Depo yokulomba kwebo kutati chilumba chesu ifwe ngabena muchinga ni PF amen bali kwate chilumba chabwe chipani ukapinda kakukabanga ano yakumpanga biyo tientu babika mu mapepo tientu tungire chipani chesu kale balika mwe bana ba mfumu kale balika Somwino tupele wasumumbo kubentungulushi ukupitira muri mwe bantu eleso alalanda nakairine ukumuno kutati basumumbo amen na mitotele kinekini apani noisa yani shilipwa suminisheni mitema MP bakumafinga Maona repo chavinga kutati benga miposha nokumilani nokulanda ko tumashuhuru wototera ko baona
Correction, it has nullified parliamentary seats. It has come to our attention that Norcourt has nullified on the Kasama Central parliamentary seat. Contrary to an earlier update, we sincerely apologize. Kabushi Boma Lusambo, Kwacha Joseph Malanji, Lunte Mutotwe Kafwaya, Nakonde Lucas Simumba. Emmanuel Mwamba, Zambia's immediate past ambassador to Ethiopia and former permanent representative to the African Union, has taken a strong exception to remarks attributed to Chuangandu MP Stephen Kampyongo, who recently cautioned PF members to be aware of unnamed chancers trying to hijack the party. Mr. Mwamba says the name calling must come to an end, that political parties must engage in progressive debates and discuss policies. He also cautions fellow PF flock to stop jostling for office, saying it is premature. And Mr. Mwamba has called for a national economic endeavor. Speaking on Muvi TV's assignment program, Mr. Mwamba expressed fear that early indications showed that the new Don administration would take Zambia to extreme liberal policies similar to those implemented in the 90s. He says listening to pronouncements made by President Hakainde Hichilema and studying the national budget showed that the economic policies being pursued will rely heavily on the IMF prescribed programs, accumulating foreign debt and giving free rein to foreign investment. He said Zambia was industrialized by such policies that decimated the industrial and manufacturing capacity of the country. He stressed the current high levels of unemployment to the economic policies pursued in the 90s.
Sad when I hear such rhetoric, because I heard it against President Michael Sata, where a group of leaders took it upon themselves that they would save this country, and President Michael Sata was not suitable to be a leader of this country. They called him names. They called him all sorts of names. We have done the same with President Hakainde Hichilema, where again a certain group of people called him all sorts of names that he was not suitable to be president. President Michael Sata became president. So how do those that called him names feel? President Hakainde Hichilema has become president. So when you call him names, you call him all sorts of names. He's president now. How do you eat your own words? It's just sad that the name calling in politics should come to an end. Let us discuss policies. I, in fact, wrote something on my Facebook page to that extent, responding to that press conference. I said there should be a new way of conducting politics. I think the name calling to the two examples I've given. I like, in fact, if I'm reminiscing on my page, if you go to my page, I even refer to the case of Jacob Zuma and Thabo Mbeki. Thabo Mbeki was this distinguished scholar with two distinguished degrees from Oxford and Cambridge. And Jacob Zuma has never been to school. Jacob Zuma had never stepped a foot in class. He was informally taught in Robben Island in prison by actually Thabo Mbeki's father, Governor Mbeki. And when there was a contest between Jacob Zuma, who has never been to school, and this Oxford-trained, they would call him king philosopher of a president, they called Jacob Zuma all sorts of things under the heavens and the earth. But Jacob Zuma beat these educated, these classy people. It's just not good to call people names. You just don't know who they will be tomorrow. And in your and my personal life, we've seen people that have insulted us begin to call us boss or sir. You see, the way you conduct yourself, especially in public affairs, be wary that you might have to eat your words tomorrow. Be careful. So for me, I always call for clean politics. Don't name.
And Mr. Mwamba says that Zambia must come up with a law that automatically fires serving diplomats when there is a change of administration in the same manner it does with attorney generals. He says that this is to avoid the unnecessary pressure put on the presidency to fire diplomats appointed by an immediate past regime for fear they are appointed on political party patronage. Mr. Mwamba, who was recalled by President Hakainde Hichilema on 17 September 2021, further has called for an end to the purging of civil servants from the public service that served the previous government.
Because a new government has won power. Where we borrowed democrats from UK or the US, they respect the civil service. And that's why I gave examples of the US, where you can identify those that you think should leave with losing or the president leaving office. We've done something anyway. Under this current constitution that was enacted in 2016, the position of both Attorney General and Solicitor General will go with the head of state who has left office or who has lost an election. So we began to make progress. But there should be no unilateral purges as we have seen, where the only reason you are being dismissed, not because you didn't do your job, but because you are appointed by the predecessor. That should never be the case. The victimization then continues. So the permanent secretaries that have been appointed, no matter how professional they are, no matter how distinguished and educated they are, they're going to be deemed as UPND permanent secretaries, UPND civil servants. And imagine another government came in, another purge would occur. Because the perception from day one is that you've removed permanent secretaries that are PF, you've brought in UPND permanent secretaries, instead of bringing in professionals. So we as a country, we need to debate those issues and to ensure that we protect, especially for civil servants that may.
Not we take a break, we still have more interesting items coming up shortly. Do not go away.
I woke up feeling great, need a kick for the day. Got a taste that is keeping me awake. Something fresh, something true, unforgettable, something new. I can trust as my interest all the way. So when I wake up, can't get enough. Every day, together with tea, yeah, with my bread, over me. Every day, every day. Years of perfection bring satisfaction. Think milk, think Finta. Yeah, everyday.
We are delighted to add Lubumbashi and Goma to our network. Welcome aboard Rwandair, Africa's safest airline that will connect you to more than 24 destinations throughout the network.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Taste the fun. Introducing big flavors: orange, cocoa pine, cola, ginger, apple, lemonade, and raspberry. Big soft drinks. Taste the fun. Big. Tuma big. Taste the fun. Big. Tuma big. Taste the fun. The fun. The fun.
Back, we continue with the news. A civic leader in Lusaka's Matero constituency has challenged youths to be proactive and venture into projects that will enhance the profile of the area. Limukupa, who is Patriotic Front PF Muchinga Ward 24 councillor, encourages young people to take part in various social, economic and political silver platter, but work hard to eat the area.
It is for this reason Patriot Front Muchinga Ward 24 councillor Limukupa has assured the youths in his ward that he will help and support them as long as they come up with plans and projects that will benefit the community. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News in Lusaka, Councillor Mukupa challenged the youths not only in his ward, but the country at large to start planning and come up with projects that will better the lives of the Zambian people and also improve the economy of the country.
This is the time to start planning, because by next year, so many people forget about planning and submissions. My appeal to the youth is to even given the name to say junkies. There's no one who can be a junkie. A junkie is something that you can't use, and calling a person a junkie is something which is not okay. We need to change the mindset. A lot of ideas together.
However, there's a real chance that the global leaders can harness the potential of young people to reach the sustainable development without leaving anyone behind.
And develop the province, and he is in the office to unite Zambia, citing coordination of government and local authority programs. And Mansabombe District Commissioner, when UPND National Youth Leadership interacted with district commissioners in Mapula province, including youths and women on Sunday. And gracing the meeting, UPND National Youth Chairperson Gilbert Lusaniso advised youths of Lapula province to respect and support other district commissioners their operations, saying it is costly to do so. Fred Mponde, a pirate, the council and Ratsa. Mr. Mponde and described the whole process as engagement with stakeholders such as Ratsa for the pirate taxi drivers to head to the core. Everything has
had with the Road Transport and Safety Agency in Mansa District, where they told taxi drivers to come with a lot of costs, such as increase in what aid to include new color schemes per province.
kapamera kagunga ali alisheko abana bakunganda ero futi kaidi ero kuisa imokuba tyo balefwaya tubike amalibons abene bamyeto ngabafumya hapo government yaletashani mpawa bali abantu bonse tupembera pepa 30 abantu ngabafora then abantu pa 30 ngabafora ero kwaisa abanomba kutashani
and government to intervene.
After the problems, Ibon Tenavan Drokuleta Marizwan, Ulatsaragoni 9 and Kaipan to the Fund Yamu Parliament.
Helen Factory. They claim hundreds of tons of mangoes are going to dissolve the
such as mangoes, which can easily be in other factory. One woman spoken to found employment and enhanced. Others narrated.
Wearing value for money and training manager Siraj Dust.
By the Ministry of Local Government along lower roads and the bridges that are under construction by engineers.
It's a prompt, which means supervising northern province here.
Of the bridges and the road.
The traffic.
Residents also expressed their views over the district will make movement.
Primetime news. We take a break. See you shortly.
Dear, this is an open secret. Every farmland. Sure. See, my friend. I'm telling.
Call or visit your nearest Seedco depot for more details on our
Airtel Money MasterCard is what I'm here to announce. For ads, grow that hustle and see. With Airtel Money MasterCard, just shop and MasterCard. Introducing Airtel Money MasterCard. Secure, borderless.
And this one is for Zambia. This one is for Zambia. This one is for Africa.
We take a break.
Have you decided?
She said yes.
Are you here?
I'll give you the world.
Oh, you already have.
Celebrate Fila Bookmaker Company.
Based on an hectare. Apart from the direct jobs that we expect to get, there will also be indirect jobs, meaning that the farmers who 5,000 is quite high and they will need the health care. So we'll put school to a grade 12 secondary school. And then we want to upgrade children. So
they brought in the issue of value addition, meaning therefore that the raw material for something can for value addition.
For the
we made amazing. There is a talent.
What do you think is the importance of football in uniting a country, in spite of their problems, their political affiliation, religious denominations, everything?
Football is making everybody.
We have come to the end of our news. A recap of the top stories. Nakachinda accuses UPND of fighting corruption selectively. Mwetwa says the party is aware of a number of its lawmakers being trialed by PF militaries. Kampiango's Wolves remark on ambition, PF presidential hopefuls and Nai Emmanuel Banda. PF loses more parliamentary seats. Thank you so much for watching the news. This has been Jessie Jongwe. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming on Muvi TV, your channel of choice.